Hello. Um, Today, after a long time, I have another replay to watch for someone to just give advice about. Sorry to a lot of the people who have asked me to look at replays because I haven't done it. I've been pretty busy. I'm not busy anymore, but we're so close to AE that I feel like maybe it would be better if I didn't do so many or any. Um, Apart from this one, I guess. Just because the game's going to be really different and you know, that's the general idea. But start asking me again after AE comes out if you want stuff like this. Unless I suck at that game. Well, I mean, I suck at this game too, but you know what I mean. Um, this is Geef versus Ed. In general, I think I think this is good for Ed, better for Ed, but you shouldn't think, you shouldn't put too much thought into stuff like that at most levels, even at super high level. Um, don't think of it too much like that. It's not that bad of a matchup either way for either character. So yeah, and just to preface, the things that I'm going to say aren't necessarily true or the most correct. It's just my kind of ideas on why things happen or like what I think about certain situations and stuff like that. It's probably a lot better players than me who will say different things that contradict what I say, and they're probably more right than me. But this is just my thought process on things like this, and hopefully it can help someone. So let's get started before I waste too much time. Ed vs. Geef. Second favorite stage in the game. This is sixth stage. Alright, I'll go back here real quick. Just a small thing. This situation here, right? He's going to block this, and then he's going to get hit by the second jab. This right here. He pressed something. Um, that's no big deal. If you think about this situation here, right? The Geef is going to see that, alright, he blocked my jab, and he does another jab here, right? And you get hit. He did another jab, but nothing can really happen after this, if you know what I mean. So getting counter hit here, pressing buttons in this situation, like Beardmond did, is like a good idea in general because you could have taken back momentum. Um, you could have stopped things like other things that weren't bigger than jabs for the most part. I'm sure there's some things that wouldn't have worked, but there's a similar thing that happens with other characters like Cammy. Sometimes Cammy players will do pretty long frame traps, and sometimes you can press a button towards the end and you'll get hit because it's a long range frame trap, but because it's the single fast hit, they can't hit confirm it. So it's not a bad risk to take. This was like, yeah, he got hit and he didn't gain anything from this, but he didn't, he lose like nothing. He lost this much health, and now he's in a good spot here, pretty much. Like, there's nothing, no real threat, and he neutralized any possible threat from after the first jab by trying to do something here. So that was a good idea. Um, Geef's scared, coming back in. I will say, I have watched this a couple times just to get an idea of some stuff I was going to talk about, and there are times where Beardmond, he plays this exactly right. He does. There's these like 10 to 15 second periods where he's just doing exactly what he should do, and then there's other periods where not so much. But you know what to do to win, to play well against the Geef. You just need to not give up on it so much. And we're about to enter one of those periods from here. See, great with punish, really good with punish. Keeping him out, playing patient. On point anti-air. Moving in for the pressure. Yep, got hit here. Not a big deal. Staying patient. You see, still, see, I've been talking for so long, and it's still, you're still doing the right things here. You know, hit here, no big deal. Look, just sitting, waiting for him to do something. You have this massive life lead. Not massive. Geef can equalize this pretty fast, but he still has to come for you in this situation. You've got the whole screen behind you. Um, not saying that you have to walk back. Sitting here like this is exactly what you should be doing, or at least one of the things you should really be thinking of doing. So you're doing the complete right thing. Good distance to hold against Geef. You know, keeping him in the corner. Keeping him in the corner still. Yep. Backing off a bit. Yep. Got hit by that. That'll happen. But, you know, still doing the right thing. You know, just playing patient. He's pressing a lot of shit. Great with punish. And this is where this wasn't a good idea. Do not use random. Well, you know, random's a bit of a harsh word. It's not random, but you know what I mean. Don't use this tool in neutral against Geef so much, because every time Geef blocks a charged heavy punch, you have given him the exact situation he's working for the entire game. You are right on top of him, and you're -2, so he's +2. That is like, that's basically his whole objective in this game, is to be in a situation like that. That's always what Geef is working for. So, like, he didn't block here, but, you know, it was still not a good idea, I think. Well, missed the anti-air, but, you know, that happens. Risky DP. I mean, it's hard for me to say it was bad because it worked, you know? It makes me look like an idiot if I say, oh, this was a bad DP. But I'm not a fan of the DP, just because, look at this life, you know? Big life lead. This range here, where he hit you here, this spacing, he can't really do anything. So there's no reason you have to force yourself to guess. Like, he could SPD you here, right? But if you backdashed right now after blocking that thing, that kick, because of the spacing, he can't chase it at all. Like, there's nothing he can do to stop you from backdashing here. And you wouldn't have had to take a risk that has punishments, pretty much. You go, yeah, the DP hit, like I said, not a fan. It was just pretty... Oh, he teched, okay. I noticed watching this replay, this guy almost never techs. I'll talk about it a bit more as it goes on, but I didn't notice he teched here. So he does tech sometimes, I guess. It's important to have information like this. Notice it. Alright, good. You're playing it patient again, which is smart. Just relax. Missed the anti-air, but you know, it'll happen. You were too focused on... Everyone does this. You were too focused on pressing buttons here that you were gonna press, how do I put it? So you press medium kick here, then I think you do a medium punch. You're in your head, I know, like I'm pretty certain that your idea was, I'm gonna walk forward. I think you walk forward. I'm gonna walk forward. I'm gonna press another standing medium kick in neutral, and like, he's gonna be sitting here, he's gonna block it, he's gonna get hit, whatever. Something's gonna happen. But you weren't thinking about the jump. And then when he jumped, you're in your head, you're already ready to press stand medium kick, you know, because your fingers were already in that position. And you're like, oh, he jumped. And then instead of doing the rising, you're like, oh, a medium kick. It still works as an anti-air. And what you did isn't wrong, but, well, it's wrong in the sense that it didn't work, but the idea was right. Your timing was just off. If you had timed the medium kick a little bit better, it would have worked. But also, you want to try in those situations to do the best thing. Like, you want to try to use rising in that situation, because medium kick, you know, it's a kick, right? So your other finger should be right next to another kick. But it's hard to, you know. That's a thing that everyone does, even like doesn't matter what level. It happens a lot. Great punish. Great reversal and great punish. This situation here, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure after a pull, not this one, but after a pull that you, like a quick pull, let's call it a quick pull. This pull here, he is minus, for sure. He is minus after this pull, and you can react to seeing this pull and kind of option select in a way. Like, you should have pressed like you should have done like stand medium, what am I saying? Stand medium. Stand light kick, stand medium punch into hands here to interrupt this. He's pretty minus. I think it's like -6. At very least -4, but definitely -4 at the very least. And you wouldn't have got grabbed here. Maybe I think you might have tried to throw. Is that what happened? And you got, because his his SPD is throw invincible. You got. Let's see if I can see. Might have been a throw. I'm not sure what it was, but maybe you pressed a button that was just too long. Oh, that's a weird freeze frame. But yeah, you should have just interrupted that with your 3 frame. Or if you know the frame data better than I do, and it's like -6 or something, and you think you can get away with it, something a bit bigger. But yeah, that wasn't real. And it wasn't real in the point, it wasn't like, oh, it wasn't real, but I can't see it in time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I just didn't react in time. I know it's not real, but I didn't react in time. I mean, that's, maybe that is what happened, but what I'm trying to say is that every time you get pulled in by Geef, every time you see this and you're getting sucked in, you should always be ready to interrupt this if he just does a quick pull, because you literally don't have to think about anything else in this situation. And there's enough time to recognize the situation's occurring. If he like just holds it on block, then you're not going to get hit for trying to jab out here. Like if you had done jab here, like your light kick to try and interrupt, and he had just kept holding it, you'd still be blocking, because that's just how it works. It's like a true like block string kind of deal. So yeah, that's not real. The only time this is real, Geef has some setups where he has weird pull ranges, and also he has like wake up setups where he'll pull and it'll be plus. But you can recognize those because you'll be waking up, he'll activate V trigger, then he'll suck you in as soon as you wake up. That's when you don't really want to press stuff because you'll get counter hit. But in this situation, it was just pretty close and in neutral, so it was definitely, you could have interrupted this on reaction with just like the knowledge. And that was just, I mean, you might be looking at this like, a lot of people will look at this situation here. You block this, then you're like, oh, he's going to command grab me or something like that. I'm going to DP him. But he did a jab and you got blocked. A lot of people will look at this and like, oh man, I shouldn't have DP'd in this situation because he blocked it. I guessed wrong and he blocked it and I died. But that is true. That is all true things. Like, it was a bad idea to DP there. But instead of like, don't think so much about, oh, I guessed wrong. I need to guess right more there. Instead, you should have, the way to stop this is you need to think here, I should have anti-aired this, and then this situation afterwards never would have occurred. You can think all day about, oh, how do I get better at guessing and stuff like that, noticing habits and all stuff like that. But it's better, as a general rule, it's better to think about how can I just not be put in guessing situations. And I think the main lesson of that situation is that you should have avoided this situation and anti-aired this. You clearly didn't really have time because of the sweep. I'm not saying like, oh, you should have done Rising like right after that sweep. Like you should have done Rising here. That wouldn't have worked. Rising has like a fair bit of startup before it becomes invincible. So that wouldn't have worked. EXDP here wouldn't have worked. He would have blocked in time, or you would have gone straight under. Um, so I don't mean you should have anti-aired after that sweep. I just mean you shouldn't have swept there so much. And if you had been ready to anti-air this jump in general, you never would have had to guess. And that's the way to deal with guessing situations. Like characters like Ibuki, right? Like, oh man, every time she EX kunais me, I have to guess. I have to guess every time. Like left, right, I don't, or DP. Like, how do I get better? How do I deal with this? The answer isn't to get better at guessing. The answer is to not let the situations happen in the first place and to really work out how to minimize situations where you are put in a guessing situation. Alright, alright. Normally you can combo off that, but it's good that you didn't try here because this wouldn't have comboed. The way this hit, where's the spacing? Alright, that's like the spacing here. If you had done hands here, it would not have comboed. There's a very weird juggle where it doesn't combo, so it's good that you didn't do that. Oh, nice. Yes, always, yeah, always stuff those. Oh, they always try to knee into something dumb. So it's good that you stuffed that. And I think we're going back into a mode where you're doing the exact right thing for a long time. Yep, good pull. Built a lot of V meter from that. Very good. Decent jump, keeping up the pressure. Yeah, walking back a bit, just relaxing. This is good. You're doing really well here. Got swept, just back off. Yeah. Crazy DP again. Looks similar to the one I was talking about before. Ready for the anti-air. You're playing this really well, spacing him well. He's not ready for the jump. Perfect. That's how you need to play this the whole time. Maybe not so much the jumps, because Geef has really good AAs, but just like the patience you have and just, the poking and frustrating Geef and like you kind of walk back a bit, but you don't walk back too much. You just kind of like you're kind of inviting him to try and do something to get in, and then you kind of move back in and you frustrate him, which is exactly what you need to do. Playing like this is the right way to go against Ski. This is bad. See, this is one of the major things I think you should stop doing in this matchup, especially. As you can see, he blocked this. You are -2, and you are exactly where Geef wants you. This is what I was talking about before. -2, your time to guess, and they're bad guesses for you, very bad guesses. And you put yourself more so into the corner as well. So, just really bad idea. And he does this, another one. As you can see, off that -2 fully charged punch, this is what you've lost, right? And then he's still gonna have a meaty setup here. But one thing I will say about this that is important to note, in this season at least, it's probably not going to really matter as much in AE. Man, what is my cat doing? Hey, come down. Where is it? All right. He EX SPDs you here, right? Here, he's going to forward heavy punch you, which is like, it's like +2 or something, right? And then he's going to command grab you again. I'll tell you what you could have done on reaction to just get out of this situation completely. All right, here it comes. Forward heavy punch here, and then he's going to EX command grab you off the block stun. What you should have done right here when you block this is you should have backdashed. I don't think there's anything he can do if you backdash after this move. I think you just get out for free. Maybe I'm wrong, but even if I am wrong and there's something like, oh yeah, man, he can just like chase you with like a lariat or something dumb. this guy wouldn't have known, and the vast majority of geese wouldn't have known. And even if maybe they'd know, you still should find out if they know. You know what I mean? So as soon as you block this, you should have backdashed, and you would have been safe from anything he could have done after this, as far as I'm aware. But instead you got EX command grabbed, and yeah, as we see, seeing what he did, you would have backdashed, he would have EX command grabbed, whiffed, wasted the meter. You would have got a bit of a punish. Could have punished into V trigger, I think. Did you have V trigger at that point, or did SPD give you the damage? Yeah, it did. But you could have like backdashed and like swept him or done like a stand heavy punch or something. But yeah, you could have got out of that situation 100% guaranteed just by backdashing after blocking the forward heavy punch. It's kind of like Bison stand heavy kick, right? Bison stand heavy kick, really plus move. You block it, you're kind of scared. Just backdash, man. If you block a stand heavy kick, just backdash. And I think it's not even just Ed for that move, and specifically stand heavy kick where backdash is like a good idea. I think a lot of characters can backdash out of that stand heavy kick against Bison for free, relatively. Alright, you could have comboed here. This is a combo situation. This happened, you got this juggle. Buffer hands, buffering hands here. And if you were buffering hands there, it would have worked, and hands would have hit. You would have gone flying into the corner. You would have got like a nice setup, done more damage. Yep, good throw. He's not teching, as you can see, not teching. Good to take note of that information. Tech there. But you know, everyone's gonna tech there really. It's just like how that situation works. See, we're back in one of those modes where you're playing this exactly right. He's just like fishing. Like he's just pressing like semi-random stuff to like, I don't know what he's trying to accomplish really. But you're doing the exact right thing here. It's good spacing here. You're not scared of anything from this range. You know, there's nothing to be scared of in this range. Sure, he's got a bit of a life lead, but you know, you can equalize. You can be patient. There's still 75 seconds. You've got him in the corner. He can't run. He's not a threat. You're just relaxing, waiting for him to do something stupid. Jabbed you out, that's fine. Walk back, re-establish this spacing, which is, you know, I mean, Ed's not so much of a threat here either, right? But you've got him in the corner, and he's the kind of guy who's been trying to do just stuff. He's been hanging himself basically, and this is exactly what you should do. Look, he's just pressing stuff, jumping around, doing weird stuff. You're just, you know, waiting for him to do something. Going for a bit, ready for the anti-air. You've got really good. You're always, not always, but you're ready for anti-airs a lot more than most people are. Like, there's some situations where I would be like that one. I wouldn't be expecting you to be ready for an anti-air like that, but you always are. So that's really important. And as you can see, off that anti-air, almost equalized the life lead. You've got a great meaty situation. He's right in the corner still. Some safe pressure, relatively safe, and back to the good spacing, keeping him out of the air. You're playing it completely right here. This is exactly what you need to do. Backing off a bit, he's got V trigger. Good that you're not throwing fireballs. Oh, bit scary. Backing off a bit. Yeah, see that was your downfall right there. Just, it wasn't a good idea for a thing. You didn't get punished too hard, but you know what I mean. It's just like, there's so many situations where doing that like would end poorly for you, and I just don't think it was a good idea. Sure, you want to like, the idea is to get back on this side of the screen and like have more room to play with, but I don't think you should have walked that far back to begin with when he was walking into you with V trigger. Great anti-air, always ready, and he did this to you. That'll happen. I'll tell you a trick for fighting Zangief. I don't think it would have worked for this situation specifically, because EX running bear grab is a command grab, and this guy isn't doing the stuff that I'm going to be talking about, but this is a good general Geef tip. Sometimes you'll play a Geef player who he'll always try to guess on his wake up. He'll always try to put you in a guessing game in his wake up, really. He's either gonna wake up EXPD, EXSPD, ESPD. He's gonna wake up EXSPD here, right? Let's just get. There's so many gear players. They're gonna either wake up EXSPD here, and if you try to grab them, you're gonna get grabbed because it's grab invincible. Or they're gonna wake up V skill armor, and because you press the normal, like in this situation, they're going to absorb it and then they're going to punish you. Um, one thing to cover both of those options purely on wake up is do a meaty jab and tick throw, because if they wake up EXSPD, it's going to get stuffed by the jab, and then you're going to either throw them or they're going to tech, so it's completely neutralized that. And if they wake up V skill armor, you're going to do just a jab and then you're going to throw them out of the armor. And they're not going to react to like blocking a jab. And even if they did, I don't even think they have enough time to mess up a tick throw like that. So that's one way. If Geefs are doing that to you, where they just, oh, you always wake up EX SPD or wake up armor, and I'm guessing wrong. That is one way to cover both options pretty safely. It's not foolproof. Man, this is a weird freeze frame. It's not foolproof. He looks like the Thing from Fantastic Four. But like I said, it's not foolproof. Maybe they'll block the jab and then they'll do EXSPD after they block the jab, and then your tick throw will get thrown. But even if they're doing stuff like that, you've put a different guessing game on them, because maybe then you can just throw from the start, or you can do standing light punch, standing medium punch, and then they're going to get counter hit frame trapped and lose their meter for trying the EXSPD, and you're going to get a big combo off it, kind of thing. It's not like a completely free way out of those situations, but you're putting them in different guessing games that are far more weighted towards you. So it's better, they become a lot more better for you. It's just about variation and expectations, but you can eliminate a lot of options by doing that. As for if that would have worked against this, I don't think it would have, because I feel like maybe he would have armored through the jab, right? And then maybe if you tried to throw, you would have just got bear grabbed. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it would have worked. Maybe the regular throw would have worked. Be interesting to try it out in training mode. Usually Geefs don't EX running bear grab wake up on me. It's always just V skill armor or EX SPD. But yeah, I think I rambled on a bit too much about random things a lot in this video. But hopefully there was some stuff in there that was a bit helpful for someone at least. But yeah, it'll be good to have a video up that isn't me embarrassing myself complaining about Guile as my most recent video. But like I said at the start, I'll probably might not be too much, if anything, for the next like 3 or 4 weeks leading up to AE. But once AE drops, I'll put up a lot of stuff probably. I'll put up all the stuff that people, like combos people work out. I'll put up stuff like compilation of, just stuff that everyone's doing. I doubt I'll come up with much, if anything, of my own, like usual. But I like to try and compile all the different things people find, so it's just easier to access. And I'll do more replay stuff, I'll do more replays so we can work out, well, I can work out myself how to deal with all the new things different characters have, and if anyone needs help with certain things, I can try and do stuff like this. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And like I said, these are just my opinions on situations and stuff like that. It's not, don't take what I say as like an objective truth of like how to play or like what's a good idea or what's not. It's just like the way I see things that got me to where I am. So yeah, if you survived watching it this long, thank you, and hopefully it was helpful.